All things Pelicans. You're now tuned into the Pelican post-game report. Stand up, flocking nation. We up in this thing representing another special episode of PPR. It's supposed to be PPR in the morning, but Saturday, what I had to do? Oh yeah, I forgot. Busy on Saturday, and we had to roll it on today. But shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all being in the stream for another episode of PPR. I'm Big Q. Got my girl Lexxah in the building, my dog DC in the place to be. DC on the good mic, so we're going to get some good sound and some good comments tonight from DC coming all the way from the island. So big ups to you guys.
She was just at my house yesterday, y'all.
Please feel free to hit the like button. Please feel free.
We know the PPR is big, but it ain't big enough for you to fly a coach yet, so we know.
Oh, I took a boat, man. The same boat you did.
You took a boat?
Yeah, the boat to get over that way. The same boat you used to get back and forth. Cut it out. I borrowed your boat. All right, so anyway, DC, stop interrupting. So I'm talking to the people. All right, so big ups to you guys. Appreciate you being in the building. Please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Feel free to share the show on your social media feed. Much love to you guys. We up in this thing talking Pelicans. We won't hold you very long on this stream tonight. So big ups to you guys. You okay, DC? DC is in the place to be. Okay. All right, so anyway, we're going to talk about a few things tonight on the stream, man.
I'm all right, Stephanie.
All right, so we up in this thing, man. All right, so anyway, we got a few topics we're going to go over with today. Let's talk BI to start off the broadcast, right? Pelicans face frozen Brandon Ingram trade market. This one comes directly from Clutch Sports, fam. And they talk about the Ingram trade market isn't pretty after Lauri Markkanen's new deal made him untradeable. So, this basically breaks down Pelicans' quest to find a suitable trade partner for BI has hit another roadblock. The Jazz were once considered one of the most sensible potential destinations for the talented forward. Utah President Danny Ainge put a damp town, he says, on those small fires by inking Lauri Markkanen into a long-term contract extension. Now, Markkanen is ineligible to be traded this season, effectively taking him off the market with Ingram. So New Orleans is being left in the lurch here. Sources indicated the Pelicans expected a mild tepid market for Ingram in May. The Pelicans have fielded calls, but have not been frustrated by having fewer options in the market. Ingram and the front office have both expressed their desire to continue their relationship. The only sticking point is the future price tag. Those are just a few reasons why the Ingram market is now effectively frozen. The Jazz only have surplus to requirement spare parts to offer in return. So the Pelicans need more than that to even consider calling it quits on the current core. Just look at what Utah wants to use to acquire an All-Star. And of course, we talk about some of the pieces. John Collins, an overpaid front court option. They talk about him being one of the guys getting $26.6 million and can leave after the season. The type of salary hit makes him a less attractive option for the Pelicans. It's the same reason other organizations have been reluctant to take on Ingram's expiring deal. The bill comes due eventually, replacing the high-cost rental option. It's all but impossible. Despite his athleticism and potential, Collins have struggled to consistently perform at a level that justifies his salary. His defensive lapses and inconsistencies on offense have made him a liability at times, further complicating any potential trade scenarios. He averaged 15 and 8.5 points on 53.2 shooting from the floor. Next option, Walker Kessler. Solid center, but not enough. Kessler has shown significant potential. It could be a valuable asset to any team. The Jazz promising young center is also on the market for a reason. Utah has been drumming up interest in Kessler for months, but at an unreasonable high price. The sticker shot of multiple first-round selections is too much in the Ingram deal. Kessler for Jordan Hawkins makes more sense for all parties. As well, the Kessler stout defense and reliable rebounder would make him great next to Zion. Yves, Carlo Mekovic could fill out the reserve rotation minutes. However, Ingram is exponentially better than Kessler. And Ingram's scoring ability, versatility, and overall impact on the game make him a far superior player. The Pelicans would need more than just Kessler and salary filler to justify trading away their starting forward. If Ingram continues to demand $50 million per year contract extension, the team must weigh their options carefully. However, Collins and Kessler might not even be able to play together. lessen their overall value to New Orleans. While Ingram's talent is undeniable, the financial implications of such a deal can hinder the team's flexibility in the future. If the best offer on the table involves a package centered around Kessler and Collins, the Pelicans might have to consider pulling the trigger despite the less than ideal return. Shout out to Chris Dotson on this article right here. Let's kind of swing it around to the flock. DC, this is one of the things that you want to talk about here on tonight about the BI situation. Feel free to start us off in the discussion, brother, and then of course Lex, please feel to chime in as well.
I think the BI situation is pretty much what we all intended, right? Like not what we wanted, but once you've seen him not get traded to Atlanta, we knew basically David Griffin was going to try to hold to extract as many resources and the best possible deal he can get, right? Which has put us in a situation right now where if we want to move on from BI, we got to take what we can get, right? Bearing the options we have at this point right now, those options may change at the trade deadline. I mean, I don't think you could do much better than Colin Sexton, John Collins, Kessler, however you want to swap that in there. I guess most people would probably want Kessler over John Collins, but we know our propensity to love small ball centers, which John Collins can do, and he can shoot the three ball. I think over the last half a month of the season, shooting it at 50% or something crazy like that. But based on the options that are out there, I actually would like this over DeAndre Ayton, if that's the direction we're going, because that's the only other option we got. And you're hearing ramblings, a few rumors about the Raptors and possibly Pirtle. I ain't too crazy about that. The Raptors don't have anything to give us unless they're going to give us a bunch of picks. But Saxton, Kessler, I wonder how much is Saxton getting paid? Can we do the deal for Saxton and Kessler? Or we would probably have to add John Collins and Steele, because I don't think Saxton is making that much money. It'd probably have to be all three of them. Or you at least have to swap out Saxton for what's the six man over there? Damn, I forget the little guy. Jordan Clarkson. Which I like Saxton better than him. And he's younger. But I don't know, man. I mean, if this is all we can get, I wouldn't be terribly upset about that if we could figure out a way to kind of get at least a couple of second round picks or first or something out of it. Need some draft capital too.
On Colin Sexton's money deal, DC got 2 years remaining on a 4-year deal. He's at 18.3 plus this year, 19.1 next year.
Okay, so yeah, it would be Saxton and John Collins. Because he's making 18 and Saxton's making what?
18 point.
Oh, Saxton's making 18 and what? John Collins making like 24?
26, I want to say. Let me look it up right quick. I want to say it's 26 he's making. I mean, let me look that up. Let me make sure. I might not be. Hold on. Give me a second. Let me look up that.
Oh, yeah. We probably would have to take Clarkson then, because that'll put it at 38, almost 40 million, unless we want to. What we giving them, Jordan Hawkins? Who we sending back with $5 million to get both of them? But
Collins is 26.5 plus. So yeah, I was right. 26 and a half. So that's really you're making a good chunk of change. That 26, and he got the player option for the next year. He becomes unrestricted in 26, 27 years. So this year, 26.5 plus. Next year, 26.5 plus with a player option. So, there you go. So
I'm not excited about it now, but I think we could do worse.
Well,
we could do worse. I mean, DeAndre Ayton is 34 million for the next 2 years. Either way, I think that's the option they go. They're looking at somebody short term. That's why I can't see us getting Kessler Walker, even though I think that probably would work. But how they gonna pair Kessler Walker up with Yves Mises if they really see a big future for him? That's like too similar of the players. And we still gonna need a stretch big unless Carlo Makovich can fill that role, but we don't know what he can do.
Y'all still have Trey Jemerson. They throw in there too. DC's another guy. I don't know how
Trey,
he'll be.
Trey to me is just he's filler, man. Like he's
Right.
solid. He's somebody you can rely on. Breaking clips of emergency guy. That's what Trey is to me.
Also,
I
Trey
don't see
Jemerson
him as
becomes
a
Cody
future,
Zeller.
but you like him to have him on the roster in case somebody get hurt.
So he becomes Cody Zeller. That was your last year call for the break.
I see him as more Cody Zeller. I see a lot higher upside with Mekovic and Misi's first round draft pick, so he's definitely gonna get an opportunity at some point.
What you think, Lex?
Yeah.
Are you excited, Lex?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I think Lex hate John Collins more than Willie, bro.
No, I mean I'm not too thrilled
Lex
about
doesn't
him.
hate Willie. Cut it out, DC. She doesn't hate.
I'm sorry.
Didn't we discuss this before?
That's what he did.
Why y'all want to bring him up?
See what DC just did? I told you he was going to do that.
I said best behavior, guys. Come on, man.
All right.
See?
Look, don't nobody want to hear me talk about this, man. Shoot. Just being honest, but I don't know. All this is a head scratcher to me, y'all. It hurts my head. It really does. I mean, they just didn't plan accordingly. I think at this point, I really feel like, if they're going to make a move, they need to make a move with Brandon now. I think just kind of alluding to what you all were saying, you're not going to get what you want for Brandon. You're not going to get that at this point. So it's almost like you need to make a move to make a move. To make the move as far as moving him, but that move of moving him, whatever you get back, is actually to help you to make another move. And I think that's how this needs to be looked at. I just keep thinking about like how this is going to affect, because if we truly do believe in the growth and development of Trey Murphy, because right now it's being looked at like Herb Jones is going to be coming off the bench, and also as well as Trey Murphy too. So if you're gonna like just looking at that, it's like, when are we going to start focusing on the younger talent that that you're trying to grow and that's in the foreseeable future? And right now, Trey's not going to get that type of because Brandon is trying to get that contract. It's the same thing as last year. It's the same kind of mindset. That's why it's kind of weird, because we don't know what Brandon we're going to be getting. So the thing is that if he, depending on his mindset, and I think that's been a huge concern, like, are we prepared to, basically, I'm sorry, I'm trying to think of the word that I'm trying to use. Are we trying to, goodness gracious, I lost it. Are we trying to accommodate, wherever his mentality is over the growth and development of Trey Murphy? You know what I'm saying? So, and not only that, I mean, even Herb takes a hit. I mean, because we don't even know what the starting lineup is going to look like. So I don't know. This whole thing is kind of crazy. I really don't care for John Collins. If you think back when he was with Atlanta, they were trying to get rid of him for a long time.
It really was, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking about that, and I'm like, whatever's going on with that dude, why did it take a long time for Atlanta to get rid of him?
Mm-hmm.
And you're telling me that you want him to come here? Like, if he comes here, what makes you think that, okay, we want to trade John Collins? I feel like that's going to be a similar situation with Atlanta, because we don't know why it took so long for that. They were trying to, he was always on the trading block.
Yeah, he
always on
was.
the trading block. So that's one of the reasons that gives me concern. Okay, what is it that, because we don't know everything, we don't see everything. What's going on behind closed doors that it took so long for him to be traded? And
Hmm.
I don't think the well, I don't think I know the Pelicans don't want to be in that type of situation. And this Brandon Ingram, it really does scream out the same situation as JV. JV, he was up for extension, right? They couldn't come to terms on the extension. They went into the season. He stayed on the team, got to the trade deadline, still nothing. They did not trade him. Went on about the season. JV's gone, and you have nothing. That second picks, you know what I'm saying? That don't mean nothing to me. That ain't nothing. JV walked. So you look at the Ingram situation. You have yet to come up with an extension. Pelicans are sticking with their guns, and Brandon's sticking with his guns. He wants his money. But, there's nothing, there's nothing at the table right now. So basically, Brandon's still on the team, probably going to go into the season. Trade deadline comes. Are the Pelicans really going to trade him at the trade deadline? Because after the trade deadline, look at what happened with just JV just past season. All these events, it just seems like it's deja vu again. So it's a head scratcher with all these, possibilities. But at this point, it's really like with Brandon, you got to make a move in order to make a move. Whatever move you make with Brandon, there has to be. It's not that move that's going to do it. It's going to be the second move, and maybe even the third move.
Yeah, it's going to be. It has to be the trade deadline. You would think as you get close to it and see what the Pelicans do with it. Like I said, I think they just botched a lot of stuff going on. They said it was hot, then it dialed off. I think the Pelicans might have been asking for a little too much for Brandon Ingram, and teams just pivoted away from him. That's what it appears to me. But
I think the Pelicans was waiting for Jared Allen.
Yeah, they were. That's what they were doing.
What I think. I think they were passing up because he was number one on their list. Like, remember we were talking about guys like Wendell Carter Jr.? Man, you cannot look at the Orlando Magic and tell me, even now, if you could figure out how to go about it, that a guy like Wendell Carter Jr. is not available. They signed like 3-4 centers. Like, what are they going to do with all these centers? They extended everybody except for him. So they're going to keep, what do they have, a 4 or 5 center rotation? Well, I guess it would be 3 centers or 4 if you don't consider Jonathan Isaac a center. But they play him spot minutes as a small ball center, even though he's a power forward. So it's like we couldn't get Wendell Carter Jr. But the Pels, they set on Jared Allen.
Plan. They did not have a good plan. They had a plan A, and that's it. They didn't have a plan B, a plan C, a plan D, because basically after plan A, all right, we're winging it. Look at how, with the center positions right now. Those weren't, man, Pelicans weren't thinking about Tice.
Nah, they wasn't.
You know what I'm saying? You telling me he was playing B?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're telling me Trey Jemison, you didn't know he was going to be waived by the Grizzlies?
That was plan F.
They just started winging it because they did not have it. You can see it. We can all see it. Stacey just made a comment. Pelicans front office get a C minus at best this offseason and could have had an A+.
Well,
and
I still can't give him give him a C minus though.
Michael says this. Other than Murray, we haven't done anything, to be honest.
And that was the next thing. Literally, because the thing is, everybody knows. Looking at this roster right now, it doesn't look right. It looks unfinished. It looks unfinished.
That's
and it
the
looks
energy
like
too, Lex.
You did not have a plan. You look. Last season, we had a center. a starting center in JV. We didn't have a point guard. Guess what?
You just swapped it.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Fix it.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay.
At a point guard by committee, you have center at by committee.
I mean, it's like, dude.
Hey, which would you rather though? I would rather have center by committee than point
I
guard.
would rather have none of them. I would rather have a starting.
Well, if you got to pick one.
Well, what you got is what I would choose.
If you got to pick one, man.
When you look at other teams,
it's an improvement.
Right.
When you look at other teams, though, other teams are complete. They have completeness to them.
Yeah.
Like, and that's been a huge problem. You see how everything is delayed, everything is slow.
I can't say other teams
Hold on.
all complete. You can look at a lot of rosters, and everybody's gonna have a hole somewhere. Some people's hole is gonna be bigger than others, but like we have 8 guys that can be starters on other teams. I can't look at that and just be like, oh man, they completely just messed it all up. Like, well, no, it ain't. I'm saying 8. It's really 7. So 7 guys. But how many other teams that have 7 guys that can be starters on other teams?
Do we need to look at the other teams?
But that's not the.
Let's look at them. Let's look at them.
She was saying the completion of the. But go ahead, Lex. Finish your thought. That's what
I was just saying. Like, look, last season we had a center, no point guard, no starting point guard. Okay, now we have a starting point guard. We don't have a starting center. We're missing something like, and we've known this for years. How many years does it take for you to get 2 positions? 2. I mean, is that reasonable? How long? How many years? How many years has it been? It's definitely been since Willie Green's been here, right?
I mean,
man, we've been looking for a center since Anthony Davis. Anyway, wait.
Well,
Okay, so what?
AD was after. That's right.
Is that 5?
Huh?
Is that about
No,
5?
That's at least yeah. That's about 5 years.
Marcus Cousins, man.
So basically, since Zion was,
Well, I mean, AD was center after DeMarcus Cousins when they brought in Julius Randle. Remember? I guess I'm playing center. You remember that?
Yeah, I know that we covered that. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, but this is the thing about Willie. This is the best point guard, obviously, that he's had since he's been the head coach here. Being that he's a guard, even though he played off guard a lot, you expect the current point guard, a veteran who's very good, and the current coach to kind of get it all together and walk it forward. Now, obviously, this is a path right here. We'll just kind of look at it a little later because I'm obviously going to walk past this generally because I know Lex is listening, but we're going to go to the next one and talk about Trey Murphy. Because Lex, we're going to walk right past this shit because I know Lex is listening and I know she loves Willie. We're going to leave that alone for right now.
You know what? Hey, can we do a poll?
Hold on, Lex.
We did a poll.
No, I got.
You got to create your own poll because
no. This is a good one.
Go.
I want you to put in the poll.
What you got?
Who loves Willie Green? Okay, put a yes and a no. Okay, those 2 options. Who loves?
But what does that improve though, Lex?
As a coach, okay.
We still got Willie.
I know, but you keep saying that. I'm like, okay. Anybody else want to chime in about their love for Willie Green as a coach?
What is it, love? What love got?
Huh?
What does love got to do with it? There's no love. It's a fact that Willie's the coach.
You trying to get me in my Tina Turner mode?
No,
you Tina Turner.
Got to do it. Yes, indeed, man. Tina was singing that thing, and that's that. You know what? But that's the whole thing, man. It's a fact. Willie's the guy, and listen, you're right. He has a lot of stuff you got to do. But I like the Dejounte Murray and Willie pairing because I really think that Murray could help him take his game to the next level. I really do think that. I think Murray can help him. If you got a good point guard, and this guy's a good point guard, he's going to be respected.
Because he should be helping Murray take his game to the next level.
He probably could, Lex. He might know a little something now. I'm not going to,
That's crazy, brother.
He didn't know anything about the pick
I'm
and roll.
saying
We need a point. We need the. I thought it was supposed to be the other way around.
DC,
the coach was supposed to help the players.
DC, listen. The reality is, it's a give and it's a get and a give, brother. It's what it is. Willie's going to teach Dejounte what he wants him to do, and Dejounte's going to tell Willie, "Hey, Willie, maybe we can do that, but let's kind of round out these edges here. We can do this better," and that's how they'll do it. He'll be able to talk to him. But you can't say Willie's a hard ass. He's going to be like, "Nah, shut up, do it this way." Nah, he's going to work. They're going to work together. That's the point. And we need those guys to work together for the team to be optimized here. You see? Now, I'm going to say this, and that's 1,000% facts. What I just said. That's not
90% Dejounte, or excuse me, 95%.
That's totally what I just said. Is not disputable. That's 1,000% facts. What I just said. 1,000%. You cannot dispute what I just said. That's 1,000% facts.
That's their working together.
Working together for the betterment.
99% Dejounte, 1%.
It won't be 99% Dejounte Murray. It won't be. It'll be closer to. Probably, I ain't gonna give no percentage. I'm not gonna even play it. I see what you tried to do right there.
See what's your percentage?
I see what you tried to do 100%. Right there. So you on the 1% too, DC? You're 1%.
See, I was being nice by giving Willie 1%.
What I just said it was undisputable. What I just said, that's no disputing what I'm saying. That's what it is. Because if it wasn't, DC would open his big mouth a long time ago to dispute it. And this,
I've disputed it so many times. I'd rather not and just move to the next topic because you're just stuck in delusion with this, and you're just gonna have to see it in real time.
What is this delusion about the coach and the player working together for the betterment of the team? What is delusion about that?
Dante's presser where he was talking about the pick and roll.
What's gonna happen is Dejounte gonna go in there and he gonna do some stuff, and Willie ain't gonna want no confrontation, so he's just gonna let it happen.
That's exactly who he's gonna put the.
That's exactly how it's going to play out. No, but you're right. That is exactly how it's going to play out.
So I can't look at Willie and be like, "Oh man, we're a better team because of Willie." No, we're a better team because Willie got out Dejounte way.
No, because he gonna check
and allowed him to come in and be a pick and roll maestro that we've been missing for years. Like, why are we the only team in the NBA that can't optimize the pick and roll?
And the league is based off of the pick and roll.
It's the system that like we talk about.
That's all the NBA is pick and roll.
Unless we talk,
we don't do it. We don't do it effectively, efficiently, or enough.
Chicago years ago had Doug Collins. Doug Collins was a good coach. Doug Collins took them so far. They brought Phil Jackson in and improved the team. And what I'm saying is different.
Because I posed the question last week, Lex. I don't know if you.
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay. So that's why you bring up Doug Collins.
But I'm saying, I know I'm using it in terms of schemes. I'm talking schemes here because the schemes were different between Collins and Phil Jackson, obviously. But Phil made it work for his team. He took the players and then, of course, they did improve and get better players. Right. And he taught them the system, and that system helped not only Michael Jordan win championships with Chicago, but Phil Jackson took that system to L.A. It worked with them. So it was a winning system. Where it was applied correctly and guys believe in the system.
Can you do me a favor, Q? Can you do me a favor?
Could you do me a favor? Let me finish my thought first, bro.
I just want to say one thing and put an asterisk by it. Can you never, ever, ever, ever again mention any conversation with Willie Green and say Phil Jackson?
Brother. Hold on, brother. We talking scheme, bro. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying scheme. I'm not saying
don't use Phil Jackson for an analogy or anything. Just don't
use any championship caliber.
Don't say his name. Don't say his name.
Even when I'm
Greg Popovich, you don't say his name either. I'm talking about Willie. Okay.
I got a better name.
I'm talking scheme. Who?
Yeah,
Pat Riley.
that is acceptable.
Pat Riley. Oh man, you know what? Never mind.
We have cleared Pat Riley, Q's. You can use Pat Riley. That is perfectly acceptable.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Subscribe now and stay up to date for all things New Orleans Pelicans.